Now the next target is to solve this top layer, and we already solved 2/3 of the cube because 2 layers are already solved. Now only challenge is solving this layer now. It is a bit challenging from here onwards, but stick with me and we will be able to solve it. Now once we move to the third layer, we may get into a scenario where there will be only one white piece out here, that is the centerpiece. You may not have any white pieces. In this case we do have 2 white sides, but you may get into a scenario where you may have only one center white, or there you don't have anything. Okay friends, this is the next algorithm which we have to learn is FRU, R inverse, U inverse, F inverse. So what this will achieve is, if you apply this, let's assume this is the top section, top plane of your cube, and this is the only white you have. Once you do it once, you will have a reverse L shape out here, which we have right now. Once you do it twice, this reverse L usually becomes a line like this, and do it one more time and you should have a white cross. Let me show it on the cube, it was much easier to understand. We are actually starting at step 2 in this case because we already have a reverse L, and trick is that this reverse L, this should be away from you and this should be towards the left hand side. You should have a reverse L, that's what it's called, reverse L. So we are applying the algorithm front, right, upper, right inverse, up inverse, front. So as we expected, after step 2 we have the line out here. We have a line out here. Now apply the same algorithm again, front, right, upper, right inverse, U inverse, front inverse, and we have a white cross out here. But this white cross, I will not say it is completely solved right now, because if you look over here, orange is matching, but clearly this green is not supposed to be here. It should be somewhere other than this. This should be a blue side, and similarly the blue is placed here. So we haven't, like we solved the yellow cross, we haven't solved these sides of the cross till now. For that we will learn one more algorithm. So friends, we have to by heart one more algorithm, that is RU, R inverse, U, R, U, U, R inverse. And why are we doing it? So because, as I mentioned earlier, this orientation is not correct. Only the orange is in proper place right now, and if you apart from that, nothing is properly oriented. But before applying this algorithm, you have to make sure that at least 2 of the sides are aligned. What I mean aligned is that right now only one side is aligned. So if you rotate slightly, you will find that nothing is aligned. So rotate it once more, and still not aligned. So yeah, so we have now red aligned and blue aligned. In this case, what we will do is that hold one side towards your right hand side and one side away from you. Blue and red were in our case, blue and red were aligned, so we are holding the red side in our right hand. The other side should be away from you. In few cases you may find that these are not two adjacent sides. Basically you may get the sides which are aligned over this side and the front. That is also fine. So then hold one side away from you, and other side either should be towards the right hand side or it should be towards you, the front side. So in our case we got it towards the right hand side, so you're holding it like this, that's fine. Just in case if this was the side which was aligning, that is also perfectly fine. You have to apply the same RU R inverse UU R inverse algorithm, and if you apply it, I think at max you have to apply it 2 times, and that will bring these edge pieces to the proper orientation. So let's see, we are going to apply RU R inverse U R inverse. So what has happened? So let's see. I'm just rotating so that the orange can be aligned, and see, all of them have aligned now. In our case we were a bit lucky that we had to do it only once. If you had the opposite side aligning pieces, edge pieces, then you may have to do it twice. But now we can say in this cube is almost done. Apart from these corner pieces, these 4 corner pieces, the whole cube is in a solved position. So now the next challenge is to solve these 4 corners, and this is where I said we can reuse this algorithm. But before we reuse this algorithm, we have to learn one quick one, for which I'm not. This is the next long algorithm, but believe me, this is much simpler if you understand it like this. Hold the cube like this with all these sides aligned. The algorithm is U R U inverse L inverse U R inverse U inverse L. It's pretty hard to remember. We already had hard time remembering this particular algorithm. I didn't find any simpler way to remember this, but this one can be simplified and you can remember it much easily. At least I do remember it like this. So what you have to do is just up, away from you, reverse U inverse, away from you, again U, towards you, U inverse, towards you. So what right now is happening is that these 3 corner cubes are changing its position. So you have to understand that if you keep on applying this algorithm, only these 3 corner pieces are moving. This one is still intact. So if you are having any piece which is already in place, in this case we are lucky, this is in proper position and this is in proper orientation also. See, this is red, blue and white, this is red, blue and white, this is already solved. This may not be the case. Orientation hardly matters. If it is already in position, that is, it is over here, we would like to keep it in the this corner, that is the corner which is towards you, and the right hand side, right hand bottom corner I will call when you're looking from the top. So this corner, whatever piece which you don't want to move, which is already in place, you would like to keep it at this corner, the right hand side, towards you. So these 3 things. Now let's see whether these are in place. No, obviously this is not, because we have an orange out here with green, so this orange should move here. So let's apply the algorithm again. U, away from you, U inverse, away from you, U, towards you, U inverse, towards you. Now it looks like suddenly all of them white are here and we have solved the cube. No, not yet. It's a bit early, because I can see that these pieces are still not oriented properly. So this, as I said, this piece is not moving. This is already solved in our case, so we should make sure that it is still intact. Over here it is blue, orange, it is still not done, so we have to apply the algorithm again. You, away from you, reverse, away from you, towards you. Yeah, now look at this piece. This is having a white, green and red, so this is in proper position, but wrong orientation. We will come to that later, but let's confirm others have also the same scenario. So orange, green and white, which is again proper position but wrong orientation. This is also proper position, wrong orientation. This one is one piece which is having proper position and proper orientation, which may not be the case in your case, but this is an ideal scenario which happened. Luckily we got it in a proper position and proper orientation. So only proper position is critical right now. So start with one piece out here which is having the right position but orientation is wrong, and apply the very first algorithm which we learned today, that is R inverse, D inverse, R, D. And as I mentioned earlier, this D is important because now what we are going to do is, we have to be very careful while doing this step, because we are going to kind of mess up the whole cube. But believe me, we will be having a solved cube when we actually complete it. So let's start doing it. So this we will start with this corner piece. So right inverse, D inverse, right, down. So this moved the top piece to the bottom layer. Now we have to apply it again, R inverse, down inverse, right, down. So look at this. So this particular corner piece has come into proper orientation, but this has messed up the whole cube. Don't worry, hold it properly, don't change it. Now only thing you have to do is that we will be moving the next corner piece to this corner, and we will apply the same algorithm and try to bring it to the proper orientation. Don't worry for the other pieces for now, it will fall into place once you complete the whole process. Right inverse, down inverse, right, down, right inverse, down inverse, right, down, and then again move it over here, right inverse, down inverse, right, down, right inverse, down inverse, right, down, and see, we have a solved cube. We have done it.